Life's under no obligation to give us what we expect. We take what we get and are thankful it's no worse than it is. Burdens are for shoulders strong enough to carry them. With enough courage, you can do without a reputation. After all, tomorrow is another day. Well, my dear, take heart. Someday, I will kiss you and you will like it. But not now, so I beg you not to be too impatient. I can't think about that right now. If I do, I'll go crazy. I'll think about that tomorrow. Hardships make or break people. It was better to know the worst than to wonder. Until you've lost your reputation, you never realize what a burden it was, or what freedom really is. Perhaps, I want the old days back again and they'll never come back, and I am haunted by the memory of them and of the world falling about my ears. Death, taxes, and childbirth. There's never any convenient time for any of them. You're so brutal to those who love you, Scarlett. You take their love and hold it over their heads like a whip. I'd cut up my heart for you to wear, if you wanted it. And apologies, once postponed, become harder and harder to make, and finally impossible. If I said I was madly in love with you, you'd know I was lying. I was never one to patiently pick up broken fragments and glue them together again, and tell myself that the mended whole was as good as new. What is broken, and I'd rather remember it as it was at its best, than mend it and see the broken places as long as I lived. That is the one unforgivable sin in any society. Be different, and be damned. Never pass up new experiences. They enrich the mind. Vanity was stronger than love at 16, and there was no room in her hot heart now for anything but hate. I've always had a weakness for lost causes once they're really lost. Now you are beginning to think for yourself instead of letting others think for you. That's the beginning of wisdom. A pain slashed through her heart as savagely as a wild animal's fangs. Longing hearts could only stand so much longing. The land is the only thing in the world worth working for, worth fighting for, worth dying for, because it's the only thing that lasts. The liar was the hottest to defend his veracity, the coward his courage, the ill-bred his gentlemanliness, and the cad his honor. How closely women clutch the very chains that bind them. How wonderful to know someone who was bad and dishonorable and a cheat and a liar, when all the world was filled with people who would not like to save their souls and who would rather starve than do a dishonorable deed. Always save something to fear, even as you save something to love. The world can forgive practically anything, except people who mind their own business. In a weak moment, I have written a book. Then you've made the only choice. But there's a penalty attached, as there is to most things you want. It's loneliness. You're like the thief who isn't the least bit sorry he stole, but is terribly, terribly sorry he's going to jail. Her burdens were her own, and burdens were for shoulders strong enough to bear them. There'll always be wars because men love wars. Women don't, but men do. All she wanted was a breathing space in which to hurt. The way to get a man interested and to hold his interest was to talk about himself, and then gradually lead the conversation around yourself, and keep it there. In the end, what will happen will be what has happened whenever a civilization breaks up. The people who have brains and courage come through, and the ones who haven't are winnowed out. I can't go all my life waiting to catch you between husbands. Some mistakes are too much fun to make only once. I do not write with ease, nor am I ever pleased with anything I write. And so I rewrite. I was right when I said I'd never look back. It hurts too much. It drags at your heart till you can't ever do anything else except look back. They were always like two people talking to each other in different languages. But she loved him so much. When he withdrew as he had now done, it was like the warm sun going down and leaving her in chilly twilight dews. He made her play and she had almost forgotten how. Life had been so serious, and so bitter. He knew how to play and swept her along with him. I can't make you understand because you don't know the meaning of fear. You have the heart of a lion and an utter lack of imagination, and I envy you both of those qualities. You'll never mind facing realities, and you'll never want to escape from them as I do. Anyone as selfish and determined as you are is never helpless. It had been so long since she had seen him, and she had lived on memories until they were worn thin. They knew that love snatched in the face of danger and death was doubly sweet for the strange excitement that went with it. The usual masculine disillusionment is discovering that a woman has a brain. Someday I'm going to do and say everything I want to do and say, and if people don't like it, I don't care.